Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are good. I thought today I'd do a May favourites video as I've never actually done a favourites video before. We're kind of a bit past May, but I just wanted to get my exams out of the way so I had a clear head and that I was all happy to do a video. So let's get straight into it. So I'm going to start with my beauty favourites to start with. But to start with is a foundation. It's the Celebrity Pro Foundation, HD Foundation by Mayron. I had actually never heard of this before. And my sister actually introduced it to me. It is a bit like face paint, I'm not gonna lie, but for a night out this stuff is actually amazing because it goes on, it's quite thick and you know it's really heavy coverage and it just stays on. It's like, it's on, I wouldn't say it's like glue, but it kind of does stick to your face quite well. Definitely amazing for a night out. I got the colour medium 1. I'm not actually wearing it right now, but the thing is that's amazing about these. They're only £8 each and you can get them on eBay, which means you can buy a couple of them. So I haven't actually done that yet, but my sister's got, you know, one for her face, one that she does for highlights, and then obviously one that she does for contouring. And it's just a great way to have loads of different coloured foundations without having to spend like an absolute fortune. So if you want to get one of these, have a look on eBay. The next product I've been loving isn't actually mine. For my mum's birthday I bought her the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. And I mean, I never bought it for myself because I always thought maybe it was for people that are like a lot lighter skin tone compared to me. It wouldn't really show off my face very much, but I actually love it. I think it is an amazing contouring colour because it's not orange, it's got a bit of a grey undertone to it. So if you just, I'll show you the brush. So this is what it looks like inside. You just get one of these little brushes. So what I would do is I just dab it in there and I literally just blot it on and then like brush it up. I literally just keep it here so that it's got quite like you've got quite good definition here, and then I just use some bronzer to go over it just to blend it in a little bit. But I've got it on today. I didn't do my makeup very well today, but if you can see what I mean, because it's got a grey undertone, it looks more natural than just, you know, having like a completely bronze face. Granted though, this is quite expensive, but I mean if you're looking for a new sort of contouring colour that will last you quite a long time, I think this is definitely the one for you. So it's definitely worth a go. Just go down to a Benefit counter and try it out on your skin tone. Sorry, just have to ignore the fact that I'm probably like going really red and my makeup's sort of melting off my face. The weather in England at the moment is ridiculous. It's gone so hot. It's not even sunny outside. Well it is now, but it wasn't sunny outside. It's just gone really humid and it's just getting a little bit hot in here. Okay, so my next favourite is actually a nail varnish. Now I never really wear nail varnish. I was never allowed it at school. In my previous job I wasn't actually allowed to wear it to work, and you know, so I just never really bothered doing it because I thought, oh, as soon as you put it on you've got to wipe it off again. But it's from Topshop and it's just says nails Topshop. I've got the colour Nice and Neutral. I've been looking for a pinky nude for ages because I just love the way it looks. It sort of doesn't really look like I'm wearing much of my nails, and I quite like that. I mean, sometimes I like it when, you know, you've got bright nails, but just for an everyday look it's quite neutral, it's quite pretty. If you can, I don't know if you can tell. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to carry on with some beauty favourites. At the moment I have been loving the Telescopic Mascara by L'Oreal Paris. I don't know, I think it's amazing. I've had it for, I think I've been using it for about 5 years now, but just lately this month I've just been reusing it again because I've just been using loads of different mascaras just to see if there's anything else out there. But I thought today, oh, I might just, you know, try that again. It's got a tiny little comb, which is quite unlike a mascara, but it literally does, it brushes your lashes. If you like the separate lash look, I think you'll definitely love this. So it just really does comb your lashes, and it's, I mean, it's a volume mascara and I think it definitely gives that. If I ever put on a normal mascara, you know, when you get one just to get a bit of like darkness around here just to build it up, I literally always use this just to top it up, just to give it that extra length. And I mean, it really does add length to your lashes. It's definitely worth a try if you, I mean, if you've got like quite short lashes, or if you just want that little bit of extra volume instead of wearing false lashes. Before you like it, it will take a couple of times because I think that's the same with any mascara. They start off quite like wet and it's quite annoying to work with because, you know, they're just slipping all over the place instead of staying still. I can't really explain it, but yes, definitely worth a try. Only this month I've been starting to use setting spray. I've never actually used it before because, you know, I never really knew about it that much, and I thought, oh, people probably only use it on nights out. I decided that since it's now coming up to summertime, you know, your makeup sort of starts to melt off your face, I decided to try this NYX Dewy Finish Spray. The reason why I got a dewy finish spray is because I bought the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, and I feel it makes your skin very mattifying and like completely dry and I guess quite flat, and this really does bring your face back to life. I mean, I put this makeup on this morning, so it has sort of worn off a little bit. It's not the best foundation I have, but it definitely gives a dewy finish without it feeling like it's going to come off your face. It's really amazing, I think, and it's definitely worth trying out because it's quite cheap. I think it's about £5 just on Boots. I got it online. Yeah, just make sure the makeup lasts, you know, more of the day than not. Instead of having to carry around powder with you, I'm not really that type of person to redo my makeup throughout the day, so I thought this was definitely an ideal touch. So if you're looking for, I mean, they do a mattifying spray as well, but if you're looking for a new setting spray, I definitely try this one. Okay, so my next favourite, my beauty favourite, is probably quite a typical one that I think everyone's raved about, and I thought I'd try and, you know, jump on the bandwagon probably a bit later than normal, but is the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water. Now, I've never actually used a cleansing water before I just used to use makeup wipes, and it's changed my life really, because I never thought that makeup wipes was the lazy way to take off your makeup or the more harsh way to take off your makeup, because all you have to do is, you know, get one of those little like cotton pads, put some water on there, and then just, you know, rub it around your face, and it really does come off really well, and afterwards you don't have like a residue feeling on your skin, which I feel makeup wipes give, and I do think it does last quite well depending on how you use it. I mean, if you're someone who wears makeup every single day, you would probably get through this quite quickly, because I know I use probably about 2 pads worth or for my eyes, and then probably another 2 for my whole face. You know, just something different other than just using makeup wipes really. So yes. Okay, so my next favourite, this is a really weird one. My sister's just recently turned vegan, well, recently being January, and so she's trying out loads of different products all the time, animal free, you know, 100% natural products, and I mean, she comes into my room when she's like ordered something online, it's like, oh, you've got to try this, so I did, and it's, sorry about the packaging, it's kind of gone a bit all over the place, but it's a company called Classical, and it's 100% natural sweet almond oil. The reason why this is coming off is because it's an oily bottle, so I'll probably just pull it off. But this stuff, oh my goodness, has changed my life, and I'm not even kidding. To take off makeup, I mean, for every day, yeah, this is fine, but if you really want to clean your skin and make your skin just feel so like beautiful after taking off your makeup, instead of feeling all rough, I think this is just an amazing way to do it. So what you do is just pour some oil into your hand, not much at all, and just massage it into your face. The reason why this is important is because if you massage your face, it can bring back, I don't know what it does, but you know, it's good for your skin, it revitalises it a little bit, and you know, it's always good to give your face a massage. And then you get a flannel, just put it under some warm water and press it against your face, and your makeup just literally all wipes off. And I'm not even kidding. Normally I spend ages, I'm like this, like taking off my makeup, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna end. But honestly, this is amazing, because all you have to do is, you know, wipe it off, done, and as soon as your makeup's wiped off, wash your face with water, get some oil, just not as much this time, rub it around your face and leave it on overnight, and then the next day you feel like, I can't even explain it, but your skin just feels amazing. It doesn't feel tight at all, it feels really relaxed, it's so soft. But yeah, it does seem quite gross because it's oil, but it's better than any product I've tried, like under eye night cream and moisturisers. And I tried a moisturiser on my face the other night, and it just, the next day I felt like my skin went quite dry. I don't know if it's because I'm used to using that, but yeah, definitely worth a try, even though it's quite a weird one, but it's 100% natural. Okay, so moving on to hair. When I was younger, I always wanted long hair. I mean, my hair never actually grew past here up until the age of like 18, and it always used to depress me, because you see all these girls with these amazing long hair and you're just like, why can't my hair be like that? But my mum's actually a hairdresser, so she comes back from salon events and things like that and shows us products and is like, try this, try this, try this. And I think this has been a favourite for like 4 years, and I'm not even joking, and my hair's actually grown because of it, and I just feel like this must be a contributor. This is Moroccan Oil by the company, I don't know what the company's called, I think it's just called Moroccan Oil. Stuff, oh my gosh, it smells incredible. It almost smells like, I guess like cocoa butter in a way, But what you do is just, you know, put some into your hands and just run it through your hair after you've had a shower, or, you know, even through the day if your hair feels a bit dry, and it just makes it feel all so silky and so nice at the ends, instead of at the end of the day, you know, when your hair gets really dry on the ends, it just smooths that out and just makes the hair feel so like thick and lovely, and also makes it smell amazing. But I mean, I definitely recommend this to you if you've got quite dry hair towards the ends, or even throughout your whole hair, or if you just want a nice little treatment for your hair. And this is actually quite expensive, so this was actually a Christmas present, but you can get bigger ones with a little bottle here. It's quite cute. Okay, so this is probably a bit of a weird favourite. Well, not really, because you know everyone needs it, and it is just the Lynx Dry Deodorant. Not really necessarily what smell. I think this one is just, it's called Black, but I just think it's amazing. I've used this for like years, and I mean years, and I've never come across a woman's deodorant that keeps you as dry as this one does. I think it's because it's got a tackle boy sweat, so it's probably like 10 times more powerful, and you do stay dry for pretty much all of the day. I mean, even a day like today when it's really hot, I feel like I don't feel that clammy under my arms, which is obviously a nice feeling because you don't want to feel like that. But I should probably try the girl version of this actually, but I don't know, I've just always loved the smell. But yeah, I think it's definitely good if you've got, you know, if you sweat quite easy, or since it's now summertime, definitely worth trying. I mean, a boy's not going to say, oh, you smell horrible, because, you know, they use it themselves, so yeah. Maybe have a try of it. Completely contradicting that, well, ish, is a perfume. Okay, so this is the Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb perfume. Oh, this is amazing. I think it's so rare for me to find a perfume. I think throughout my whole life I've only ever stuck to like 2, and this was my 3rd edition. I smelled it on someone in a nightclub once, and I just thought, oh, I have to know what that smell is. It smells like chocolate. Yes, it smells like chocolate. And I asked this girl what she was wearing. She just told me what it was, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of that before. I went into House of Fraser, and you know, I was just looking around, and then there was a massive billboard, and it was saying Viktor & Rolf, blah blah. Sprayed it on myself, and I was like, yes, I found it. I think the bottle was themed. I mean, it looks a bit like a grenade because it's flower bomb. I don't know, but here it is. Cutest little bottle ever. I literally love it. But this one is the Eau de Toilette, that's how you say it. So it's a slightly watered down version. But for every day, it just smells so fresh and just so pretty. If you love the smell of chocolate topped with a perfume, then that would be the one for you. So moving on, I've decided to do some revision favourites. Now, hopefully this might help you. I mean, I know we're quite far along and everyone's probably sitting their exams now, but you know, you've still got time if they're in June or if they might be in July, but I'm not too sure if they will be, but here we go. So first, just some this little revision book that I got from WH Smith. It comes with 50 ruled cards, so let me just show you a blank one. So they just look like this, the notes even smaller, so that's what I've just done there, you know, put your little heading in there and little facts and whatever, but I just think they're amazing for you want to quickly refresh stuff without having to read pages and pages of stuff. You can get through these quite quickly, and it's just something to quickly flick through to kind of refresh your memory without it being too extensive. The next thing is these little guys. But these are just the Sharpie highlighters. I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, just any highlighter would work, but the reason why I love these is because it's got a long edge, so when you're trying to highlight maybe a whole entire sentence, and it's also got a short little edge there, so that when you just want to highlight a tiny little word without having like loads of colour around it, just so it's so specific, that's perfect. I mean, I was using these in my textbooks, and I just used a little aside because the writing was a lot smaller, so it was a lot easier to see what I was highlighting. But I mean, if you're looking for, you know, more definitive, I think it's the word, highlighters, definitely give these a go, because you get 4 different colours and you get 2 different highlighting options. What more could you want? My next favourite is the Stabilo pens. I'm actually missing 2. I don't know where they are, but I think these are like the best pens in the whole entire world. These have like literally every single colour. So I think for someone who's quite artsy, or if you're like me and you remember things by colour, instead of just having 4 colours, you've got loads to choose from, and I think these are really handy. And another good thing about these, if you want to write small, they're quite sharp. So if you're looking for some new revision pens, these have lasted me years, and they still sell them. I had to double check that, but yeah, these have lasted me like 4 years and they haven't dried up. But yeah, I mean, 100% worth it. They are quite expensive, but if they're gonna last you that long, then why not? Next is a breakfast bar. Now, I don't actually agree that all the cereal bars and breakfast bars that come out are necessarily good for you, because they're normally really high in sugar or they're really processed, but sometimes, you know, when you just don't care, you know, when it's like really early in the morning, you're fuddy-duddying around like, oh, what shall I have for breakfast? And then you're like, I know! These are actually so good. I only tried these like, I think it was definitely the last week of May, so it does count. But these are the digestive snack bars from McVitie's. These are actually so yummy. I mean, I love the biscuits that, literally all the biscuits that McVitie's come out with, but when I saw these I was a bit like, yeah, maybe I'll try one. So I tried them and they do taste like the biscuit. Instead of just being like, oh, it's got biscuit pieces in it, and you try it and you're like, well, I didn't try any of that. But these are actually so yummy. It is literally like eating a biscuit bar, if you know what I mean. Or if you're looking for a snack, like maybe even a sugar alternative, I think these are a great idea because they're yummy. I don't think they're, you know, yeah, they're just yummy. My next favourite is a healthy one, and that is the Linwood flaxseed. When I've heard about people talking about this, I'm always like, you know, when you hear like healthy people go on about some sort of healthy food and you try it and you're like, oh, no, I do not like that. This isn't one of them. This actually tastes like Weetabix. If you like Weetabix like me, then you'll love this, because all you have to do is, if you're having granola in the morning, or if you're having porridge or just some yogurt, you know, with some fruit in it, all you have to do is get a couple of teaspoons of this and just drizzle it over, and it does actually add really nice flavour. But you also, I mean, depending on how much you put on, you can't taste it. I mean, it sounds a bit weird, but I was mixing it with yogurt, and then I was also mixing it with Weetabix, and I couldn't really taste it at all. And I think that when you're getting a health benefit without having to taste something that you don't necessarily like, I think that's always a positive. But the fact that this does actually taste nice, so, and also you don't have to have like massive portions of it, it just makes it worth it, because at the end of the day, you know, it's a source of iron and zinc. It was definitely something to get my iron count up, and you know, zinc's important as well. It's always good for energy. That's what this is good for, energy, breakfast. So definitely try this. I think I got this in Waitrose. Okay, so my last favourite, by no means least, I don't know, this. What is this, you ask? It's called an Invisibubble. Okay, so this is just a bit of plastic, which stretches, and it's a hairband. Now, I'm someone, because I've got quite long hair, I do tend to put my hair up quite a lot, because you know, it gets in your face and you're just like, ugh, or when it's really hot. And I've been using these. They are literally the best thing ever for your hair, because hairbands are so tight, and you know, the tightness on your hair can probably cause split ends. It's not too great on hair because you're obviously like strangling your hair, and this is so much looser on your hair, but in a way that it won't fall out, because what happens is your hair just kind of goes in with all the little weaves there. If you can see what I mean, it just folds in, and I think that's really good for your hair, because if your hair is quite damaged, or if you don't want to damage your hair any further, this is definitely a great alternative to not put as much pressure on your hair. Just, you know, we've got to take care of our hair. One thing that people say they hate about them is they do end up stretching, so they end up looking like this, but all you have to do is run under a hairdryer, leave it on a radiator, you know, get some heat to it, and it literally goes back to being absolutely tiny again. I mean, if you've got really thick hair, it might not be the best thing for you, because they're not as strong as hairbands. So if you're wearing it all day long, you will have to redo your hair a couple of times, because what I've noticed is my hair does fall out a few times with these. But, you know, it's better than, you know, putting your hair under strangulation. If you're looking for an alternative, just for your hair, just to make sure it's not as tight around your hair, you should definitely try one of these, because I think it might change your life. It could. Sorry, I just love my poo pillow, it's just so soft. Yes, this is the poo emoji, just in case you're wondering. But I actually love it, it's so soft. So that is the end of my favourites video. Sorry if it was a bit like blah 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 blah, and if you, I mean, hopefully you like any of the favourites I've chosen. They're all pretty random. I think it's because the month of May I was studying quite hard, and I was also working, so it was quite hard to use any products. I wasn't really wearing any makeup, I wasn't really doing much, I was just revising. So this is what I've conjured up through my May favourites. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you have a good week, and if you're doing exams, good luck. Pray for us all for exam results. Bye!